Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up with another video in our Keep or Purge series. I'm going to tell you what collection I'm using, but first I'm going to talk through the background that I'm making. So I'm delving into a bit of mixed media. I haven't done this for a really long time, so I pulled out my Vicky Bouton art crayons. I've got I don't know what pack this is, but it's like the blues, purples and greens. And I pulled out some plastic. I pulled out my Tim Holtz water spray. I just went and got a paintbrush. And I'm just not technically, I'm just doing the packaging technique. So I drew a bit of crayon onto the plastic, sprayed some water on, added it, mixed it all up, and then I'm just using the packaging technique to add this to my layout. Could I have done this with mists or sprays? Yes. But I am doing a challenge for an online crop that at the time of filming this is running through Crazy Craft Obsession. And the challenge was to use crayons, and these are the only pack of crayons that I have. And to be honest, I need to do some more kind of research and stuff with crayons because this is the only way I really know how to use them. I did use them by drawing straight onto my layout for another video I did ages ago. But I don't know, it smudges everywhere. So obviously that's not the right way to use them. I think you do need to add water and then let them dry for them to not smudge. But mixed media is not my thing. I enjoy it and I like playing around, but I don't have a heap of technique that I guess know what I'm doing with this product. I did pull out another sheet of the Vicky Bouton foundation paper, and I'm just using the excess and adding it to this. So I'm kind of making two backgrounds in one. So I don't waste product, but also, I don't know, thought it'd be fun to have two backgrounds. So I'm kind of going with the vertical stripe on one, and then this one is just kind of smudging all over the place. I am drying my layers in between because I definitely don't want the colours to mix. And that is all I'm doing here for this background. It actually is a really simple background. Altogether from start to finish, this layout took me half an hour. And that's including my mixed media and drying it and whatnot. So I always say that mixed media takes a really long time, and some type of mixed media does, particularly when you need something to be like completely dry before you can move on. With this, it didn't have to be 100% dry. I just really wanted, it not to turn into kind of a puddle of brown, I guess, when everything all mixes together. I'm making it too muddy. So this way I've dried my layers in between so I can get those colours shining through. Now, what I also want to say is I already knew that I was going to be covering the middle of this layout. Now you can see me here with some paper. That's the collection I'm using. That's one of the papers, and I wanted to compare the colours. I'm mixing a few of my crayons to get a different sort of blue going that I wanted. So I knew that I was covering the middle of my page. So I wasn't too worried where my colour was concentrating in the middle there because I knew that I would get that covered. And so I actually was deliberately placing my first kind of splodge of the mixed media in the center because I knew that it'd look like a bit of a hot mess and I knew that I was covering it. So I was kind of concentrating with my splatters around the edge, which is the part that you're going to see when I complete my layout. And that's, I guess, the thing about mixed media is you do end up covering half of it. So I always try and do my first something on the page in an area that I know is going to be covered because then it doesn't matter if it messes up and it looks a bit weird. So as I said, I'm using my excess to create these vertical stripes on this second page. Maybe you'll see me use this as a background again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it matches any of the collections that I'm going to be working with coming up. I've kind of matched all the photos I have printed so far, which is sort of the first half of 2024, to some of my collections. So I'm kind of bit organized, but it's going to take me like a year to work through all of these, so we'll see. Again, drying off in between, and again, that part where all of that color is concentrated, I'm covering it up. So don't worry, I know it looks like a hot mess, but I'm covering that part up. Right, so as you can see, I have my kind of piece of paper that I'm using with that ombre, or not really ombre, rainbow pattern paper in the top corner there. You can only see a little bit of it peeking through, but that is part of the collection that I'm using, and it's actually a Rosie Studio collection called Take Flight. Lots of purples in this collection, and it's not a colour you see often in scrapbooking. I don't know why, but it isn't. So I pulled this one out because I thought it suited my photo, which you briefly saw at the start, but you will see again. And it is actually a black and white photo of Addison and I wearing Santa hats, weirdly enough. And it is June when this photo was taken, June of last year. We found them when we were, I don't know what we were doing. And I don't even know where they were because I didn't have my Christmas stuff out. But obviously I hadn't put them away properly, or maybe they were in the dress-ups box. I'm not sure. But Addison thought it was hilarious to wear a Santa hat, and she made me wear one, and I just snapped a cute photo. But I printed it in black and white because obviously the Santa hat is very red. And I'm wearing like this old green jumper, and then Addison's wearing pink Gabby's dollhouse, so just the colours weren't really working for me, so I printed it in black and white. Now I quickly snuck in an extra colour onto this kind of spare page that I made of the lighter green. You can't really see it on camera, but it just needed something else to fill that space. I didn't put that on the layout that I was doing right now, but I did move it. I did put a tiny bit extra just to fill up that blank space on that kind of second page. So here are the two pages that I made with the crayons. Obviously very similar colour palette, but yeah, I just went with two different looks. Could have used either one for this layout that I'm doing, but I chose the one on the left, which was kind of my original intention. And as I said, the collection I'm using is Take Flight. So it's a really pretty collection with lots of soft, muted colours in the ephemera. And then weirdly enough, the paper has some really striking colours, which I thought was an interesting contrast. So I knew the papers that I wanted to use. It was only in this moment that I decided to create a diagonal design that I didn't know where I was going to go with it, but that's where I went. So I pulled out some extra little bits to layer behind. I had some little offcuts, so I added a little pop of yellow and some pink there. So yeah, I'm just creating a bit of a diagonal spread across the page. I am going to get that other piece of paper out of the way. I was just at this point still deciding which background I wanted to use, and then I confirmed I did want to go with the one that has more of the splattered effect. And again, you can see how I've covered most of that mixed media. Now this collection, I have got only the 6x6 paper pad. I've got some dimensional embellishments, which you don't see me use on this layout. I also have the ephemera pack, and again with Rosie Studio, you get 2 each of everything in the ephemera pack. So you get like over 120 pieces. They're huge, very good value if you need some more affordable scrapbook. I find them really affordable, particularly for us in Australia. So yeah, that's Rosie Studio. And then I also got the chipboard, the puffy stickers, and then dimensional embellishments. Now I don't use the chipboard or the puffy stickers on this page because the puffy stickers are all like a moth motif, which I didn't want to use. I didn't use any other moths. And then the chipboard, none of them really worked for this either. And the dimensional stickers as well. Again, more florals and birds and things, and I wasn't going for that look on this page. So I pulled out the hot air balloons of all things. I put all of the hot air balloons on this page. Not that it has any relevance to the photo whatsoever, but I did. And then I'm also adding some tiny word stickers into each cluster and a word gold kind of word phrase. So one says, hello, lovely, happiness and free spirit. Then I pull out these white and gold thickers, which I have never used before. So trying to get into my alphas and get them not completely used up, obviously, but try and use the ones that I have. And so I am spelling out our cheeky girl. I thought I was just going to go with cheeky girl, and then I thought, no, I'll add the word our. I think it'll balance out a little bit more on the page. I've got quite a large space that I can fill with the title, so I am going to write our cheeky girl. Now, I'm going to edit out me sticking everything down because I don't think you really need to see that. Everything stays mostly in the same spot. So there you go. By the power of editing, I have stuck this down. Now, the question on everybody's lips, am I keeping this collection? And I can already tell I am not going to be very good at letting things go, and I am keeping this collection. So you can see all the bits that I have there, and to be honest, it's really cute, and I think it kind of goes well for either Lincoln or Addison, so I'm going to keep it. It's staying in the keep section, but tune back in for my next video. Maybe I will purge something then, who knows. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye.